Good morning. My name's Scott Woods. I'm CEO of the Peninsula Compost Group, and I'd like to welcome you to our Earth Day 2010 celebration, which is also our grand opening for the Wilmington Organic Recycling Center. It was about a year ago, in fact, May 2009, that we broke ground on this facility, and I'm pleased to say in 6 months we were up and operational. This facility was opened on November 30th. It's kind of interesting when I think about this facility, the environment, and Earth Day. Earth Day is celebrating its 40th anniversary, and a lot has changed in the last 40 years. Back 40 years ago, the major issues from an environmental perspective were clean water and clean air. While those are still important issues and there's still work to be done, much has changed. Today, the issues are sustainable resources and climate change. New words have entered our vocabulary, such as carbon footprint, sustainable environment, green economy, green jobs. There's been new positions created in corporations. Now almost every corporation has a chief sustainability officer, something we hadn't heard of 5 years ago. And there's things called green teams that are helping companies solve their carbon footprint. Today we're here to celebrate Earth Day, but we're also here to debut the Wilmington Organic Recycling Center, which I'll call WORC, W-O-R-C. We broke ground in May 2009. Our partner, EDIS Company, and we got Andy DeSabatino and Brian DeSabatino here from EDIS, led the construction. They delivered this facility a month ahead of schedule. I want to thank them for that. We have our other partner. We have our other partner here, Port Contractors, whose land this is on. And at one time, this was a brownfield site that we've reclaimed through our work project. And we have Mike Kovanko, president of Port Contractors, here, as well as one of the owners, Peggy Thomas. I want to thank them for all their support. I'm really pleased to say that this facility was built with private funds. There were no government subsidies needed to build this facility, and we're really proud of the fact that we are creating a green economy, a green industry that doesn't require subsidies. When we think about this facility, the two things come to mind. Number one, the impact it has on the environment. And the way it does that is we direct food waste from the landfill. And if the food waste went to the landfill, it's the source of methane emissions. So we're helping reduce greenhouse gases. In addition, we're completing a sustainable organic life cycle by recycling waste and returning nutrients back into the soil so that we can grow more food. This facility also is based on economics. And what we do here is we reduce the waste disposal costs for waste haulers and waste producers. WORC, we believe, represents a flagship. It's a gold standard, if you will, on which other facilities should be replicated. In fact, my company, our company, the Peninsula Compost Group, believes this is a repeatable model. And we're in the process of developing other facilities on the East Coast and in the United States to replicate this so we can help other communities like Wilmington, like the state of Delaware, like the Mid-Atlantic region solve some of their environmental issues. Please join me in welcoming Secretary of DNREC, O'Mara.
Well, thank you, Scott, for that kind introduction, and happy Earth Day, everyone. No, it's fantastic to be here today on such a beautiful day, and I actually kind of wish this was like the new stadium down in Dallas with a retractable roof so we could actually enjoy the beautiful vista. This is a special facility, and I had the privilege of actually being here for the groundbreaking with many of the folks that you see here today. And as Scott said, it really does actually embody exactly where we should be headed in this economy, really pulling together the economic opportunities, from recycling and the new markets that are being created, the environmental benefits of not landfilling as much waste, not having as many CO2 emissions from it, creating new product opportunities for companies like W.L. Gore, which is a major partner in this, providing some of the innovative membrane materials, and at the same time providing some social justice and some economic opportunities for folks that live in the neighborhoods to make sure we're bringing up all boats as we're trying to rebuild the economy and providing those really well-paying local jobs to take advantage of the maximum economic benefit that we have. On the state's role in this project, we've been a big supporter of this project from the beginning. We're excited that it's being developed on a brownfield that DNREC was able to support. But most importantly, we're trying to make sure that we create a statewide market for these opportunities. Yesterday in committee, Senator David McBride introduced an exciting piece of legislation that will create a statewide recycling program for the first time in Delaware. Over the last 3 administrations. Delaware has made some steady strides in the last 20 years, but not nearly enough, and not nearly as quickly as our neighbors. When Congressman Castle was governor, he took the first step of really kind of looking at recycling opportunities in the state. Senator Carper embodied a panel to really study the opportunities and make sure the state was taking some actions. Governor Minner did the same thing, but this, for the first time in 25 years, we actually have a viable chance of providing curbside recycling for every resident, business, and institution in the entire state in the next couple of years. Now, we've come up with a creative way to do that, and hopefully that'll create incredible markets for these exact types of companies. Rather than having our waste going to landfills where we're paying tipping fees that are just basically costing residents too much money without actually getting a lot of economic benefit, we can create new products and new markets for a lot of the goods that currently are going into landfills, whether that's glass materials or aluminum materials or compostable materials, and we can actually invest this money inside of our local economy. One thing I wanted to highlight is an exciting pilot project that we are extremely excited to announce today in partnership with the Wilmington Organic Recycling Center. This is an initiative that is really going to try to take the next step and the next frontier of recycling, which is taking the food waste out of our local schools and actually turning that into compost that can then help bolster our agricultural sector. We view this as an important step forward because right now our schools are really struggling to make sure they have the money that they need to provide the quality education that we all want. And rather than paying money in tipping fees and other kinds of arrangements, we can reduce the expenses while at the same time, it might be my cue, it's my gong to get off the stage. I'll blame Chris for that. But it really is an opportunity to reduce our expenses while creating an incredible product, this high value, high nutrient value compostable material, while also providing an educational opportunity for our residents, while at the same time creating more jobs at this great facility here. And so our goal will be to promote organic recycling, reduce school waste, while educating the young people about how to make these kind of environmentally responsible and agriculturally beneficial uses of these materials. And we know that this is the beginning of something that will grow. Many places have tried to advance a project like this. Very few have been successful. But because of the foundation that we have here, the partners that we have around the room, we're confident that we can do that. And so we're in the early stages of developing this program. You'll be hearing a lot more about it in the coming weeks. But we really want to become a leader in organics recycling. Now, we talk a lot about carbon dioxide emissions, but one of the biggest challenges for fighting climate change is actually reducing methane emissions, which are 7 times more potent than the same weight of carbon dioxide. Food waste is a major contributor to that, and organics waste as a whole. And so we believe this is a very important forefront for Delaware to be leading as we enter a national debate around climate and energy policy. And then finally, let me just say, there's no better day than Earth Day to applaud the incredible rapid development of this site. But frankly, kind of off the record, I'm not a big fan of Earth Day, and the reason is that it's fantastic. We all get jazzed up. We all wear our green ties and green shirts, and we all kind of participate in events like this. But if we're really going to try and create the future that we all know is possible, if we're really going to try to lead the world towards a 21st century kind of green economy, a sustainable environment that can solve the climate crisis, every day needs to become Earth Day. And so this is a very important start, because after we all leave today, the 20, 30 people that work here will be doing the work that we all need to be doing every day from here forward, putting food on the table in their homes and then also providing a great quality service to our environment. And so I really hope that we view this as a beginning and not as an end, because we need 1 million of these facilities all across the country. And I hope that Peninsula is so successful in their efforts that this becomes kind of the next chain of operations across the country, starting here in Delaware. But then as we see too many strip malls and little convenience stores all across the country, let's have a Peninsula composting facility in every one of those communities as well, so we can seize these economic opportunities, starting here in Delaware, in the first state once again, and then leading the country to a greener future. So thank you for having me with you, and good luck in your future endeavors.